What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. So we're about to get into training camp, and this is when we really start figuring out who the team is, right? Like competition for positions. We figure out what scheme we're putting in. But the Dolphins are doing a little bit extra right before camp. We are promoting our coach Chandler Henley from senior offensive assistant to run game specialist. Now, I'll be 100% honest. I don't know what senior offensive assistant is. I don't know what that means. I know he works with Coach McDaniel. I don't know if he draws up plays. I don't know if he suggests plays. I don't know if he writes them on a big whiteboard. I don't know. Right? I'm not in the room. I do know run game specialist is, hey, we're going to be scheming up some runs. So that's exciting because you guys know I've lamented multiple times on this channel. We should be not run focused, but it shouldn't be 70-30. It should be closer to 60-40. I think you run the game better, you save your quarterback. You run a game, your running game is better, offensive line looks better. You run a game is really good, your defense gets more rest. So if you're not as good on defense, at least they're rested on defense. What you don't want is a average defense that's tired. That's bad. What you don't want is, hey, our line's not good. Let's keep putting our quarterback in danger by having him not be able to be protected. I think having a good running game is strong. For those of you who don't know who Chandler Henley is, he's been with the team the whole time Coach McDaniel has been there. They actually will go all the way back to Yale. They were teammates back then, and then when Coach McDaniel got the job, brought him down. He was with Atlanta before that and in Tennessee before that. He actually has a similar career arc as Coach McDaniel, where he's on a lot of staffs as assistant here, like specialist here. And if we have a really good running game this year, don't be shocked if you hear him in conversations for OC. And if you're good as an OC, you know what happens next. Head coach. That's kind of how it goes. So I think this is a big move. I like the signaling that we need to focus on a run game. I don't know why this didn't happen earlier. A little curious. Did we not know we needed running game help a month ago, 2 months ago? I don't know exactly what happened there. Um, I'm guessing there was maybe they got really good at the passing part of it because Bobby Slowick's helping over there. Maybe it's like, hey, we got passing on lock. Going over there and get some attention there. I'm not sure exactly how that came about, but it doesn't matter how we got here. We got here. I'm excited. You guys know that I'm really hype on the running game. I think they could be awesome if coordinated, drawn up properly. Um, and if Chandler's going to help with that, then you have my blessing. Let's make it happen. Let's run the ball. This is a wild story for me because I don't know. This is for sure a shot. Like the bottom third here is a little deceiving. Like, did he take a shot? I think yes, he took a shot, and I'll explain in a second. But my feelings on it weren't as angry as a fan should be. For those who don't know, you didn't see the story. They interviewed Randy Moss, and they were asking about Tyreek Hill, and they said, "Do you think Tyreek Hill is an all-time great?" He said he's not even close to being an all-time great. I mean, right now I'll probably give him like top five. He's probably top five now. And so people said, hey, Randy Moss took a shot at Tyreek Hill. Here's what I'm going to say about Randy Moss. No matter how much I think I know about football, I don't know nothing compared to Randy Moss. Randy Moss is the best receiver I've seen with my eyes play football. I saw the end of Jerry Rice's career. I saw him with San Francisco, beat the Chargers, win the Super Bowl, and, one of the best Super Bowl performances of all time. I saw that. I watched Randy Moss from Marshall all the way. We coined the term mossed because he just kept mossing people. There was nothing else to say. The ball would just be up. I'm like, that can't be thrown to him. It's three guys there. He'd be like, mine, repeatedly. They did it in the league. Randy Moss, to me, is my number one receiver. I understand football aficionados will always have Jerry Rice number one. The stats say Jerry Rice is number one. I didn't watch Jerry. I watched Randy Moss. So if Randy Moss says anything about receivers, this isn't like one of these podcasts where somebody was an average player and now it's just saying LeBron's not good or like Steph can't shoot. Those guys, I could have guarded Steph. Really, you average 8 points a game. Randy Moss is everything you think you are, and he has been Himothy his entire career. He is Randy Moss. So this is not, to me, an old player being like, let me trash Tyreek to build my own career up or make me look better because Tyreek. Randy Moss is Randy Moss. Then I started thinking, being realistic. Is Tyreek top five right now? I would say he's very much in the conversation. I don't think Tyreek's better than Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. So he's not 1 or 2 to me already. Then you get into that CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown conversation. How do you feel about those two? And then 5 is kind of like open season. There are a lot of guys knocking at number 5. Some people like Puka, some people like him. Like there's a conversation at 5. I will put Tyreek in my top 5. But if I'm saying top 5 now, it's hard to say top 10 all time because when you say all time great, I'm thinking top 5, top 10 max. If you're the 15th best player, it's hard for me to say all time great. And that's a weird one for me. That it could qualify. Depends on how you define it. If I say, let's use basketball. If someone says, "Hey man, Chris Paul's an all-time great point guard," if you name 11 point guards before Chris Paul, then I would say maybe he was just really good. I don't think there are 11 better point guards than Chris Paul. So I would say Chris Paul's an all-time great. But if you just named a whole list of people and it's like at number 13, that's not all-time great to me. That's great. That's maybe bubble Hall of Famer. But all-time great to me is like when people say your name, bona fide. Like Gronk's the all-time great tight end. Boom. Kelsey. Boom. Megatron. Boom. When I heard Tyreek, I was like, maybe. Now, to be fair, Tyreek's career is not over. But is Tyreek Hill better than Antonio Brown? No. And I say that immediately. I watched both of their careers. I watched AB be not as fast, not as big, and do more in cold weather games against like I've seen what AB is. So to me, AB is closer to being an all-time great. Obviously, Calvin Johnson is. Larry Fitzgerald, of course. Julio Jones, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like guys that have played during Tyreek's era that I'm like, well, he's not better than that guy. People don't even talk about Larry Fitzgerald, who's top 5 in like everything. I watched him from Pittsburgh all the way here. I remember that over-the-shoulder grab against Miami in double coverage. And he was like, yo, who is this guy at Pittsburgh? That's how far. And Larry Fitzgerald is just chilling. And he has all these accolades, all these stats. His playoff run with the Cardinals, where he called a slant and House called it against Pittsburgh. And we just like, oh yeah, Larry Fitzgerald pretty good. What? Larry Fitzgerald is one of them ones. So then I got to compare him to Tyreek. And it's like, well, Tyreek's 2 best seasons are better than Larry Fitzgerald's 2 best seasons. But when you do that for 9, 10, 11 years, then it's hard for me to put it in context. So I think the true response is Tyreek Hill could be an all-time great if he keeps going. Today, I would say he is a current great. I would say he's not a Hall of Famer, but really, really good. If he has 2 more years of 1,500 yards, so let's say this year or next year, then I think he's in that Antonio Brown category. And I think Antonio Brown's a Hall of Famer, for the record. So give me 2 more Tyreek. Now we start having an all-time great conversation. But if he has 1,200 yards this year, 900 next year, then he's like a blip guy. Like, where's Andre Johnson for a lot of people? I want Andre Johnson to be great with basically no good quarterback. he had guys throwing him the ball that should not have been in the NFL, and he was producing. Right? Like it's a tough conversation for receivers because it is very much scheme dependent sometimes, where you're just in a wide open offense. Like, where's Marvin Harrison? You're in a wide open offense where you just get the ball thrown to you a lot. And some guys, no matter where they go, like AJ Brown was in Tennessee, he was a really good player. And he went to Philly, and we're like, well, they're kind of a running team. And he still is AJ Brown. So it's a tough question. I don't believe it's a shot for real. I think he was dismissive when he said, not even close to an all-time great. I was like, well, chill out. Like, we're not asking you like about Robbie Chosen. Shout out to Robbie. Tyreek is Tyreek. Tyreek is a champion. Tyreek is a multiple 1,700-yard receiver. Tyreek is a 100-grab guy. Like, he's been all pro. Like, Tyreek is Tyreek, but he ain't even close to us. Okay. Shot, yes. Unnecessarily, maybe. Honest, I think also. Like, there's a lot of stuff in that. Hopefully Tyreek feels motivated by this and goes out and races somebody. I'm gonna show Randy Moss on the track. I'm gonna race somebody, and I know, shout out to Randy Moss, man. That's That's childhood for me. So I got no beef with Randy. I just think he was a little dismissive of Tyreek. As I said before, we're going to camp, and the question is, are we going to have a real competition for the backup quarterback? Everything I've seen in red is Zach Wilson's the backup, Quinn, you're the third. We chilling there, right? I have said I am not a Zach Wilson fan. 10 toes. I hey, I've been saying it the whole time. So, is it should there be a competition? I think there should be a competition. I don't believe that I don't believe that it's just like set in stone. I don't believe that he can't be beat. I don't believe Zach Wilson's good enough to just have the position. And I think competition will actually make them both better. That's my whole thing. I'm operating under the assumption that we may need one of them at some point during this year. That's my assumption. I would hope to God that we don't need, but I'm operating under the assumption that we may need one of them at some point. So if we need one of you at some point, I need you to be prepared to play. I haven't seen any evidence that Zach Wilson is a good quarterback. Quinn Ewers, we don't know. He's a rookie. We have no idea. But Jaden Daniels was a rookie last year. It was awesome. I was very low on Bo Nix going into the draft last year. I watched him in college. I remember Bo Nix at Auburn. People would alley that part of his career didn't happen. It happened. I remember. They won the game. They panned up to his parents like, oh, his dad went to Auburn. It's a family legacy. And he got up out of there and went straight to Oregon because he wasn't good at Auburn. I don't care what you say. When he got drafted, I thought he got overdrafted. And then he was great last year. I'm still not sold on JJ McCarthy, but time will tell. Could be wrong there too. So Quinn Ewers to me is not super dissimilar to those guys. Zach Wilson, talent wise, maybe better than both of them. That's why he got drafted in the top three. But he hasn't shown it consistently. He had the game against the Chiefs a year ago where it was like, oh, hold up now. There might be something here. And then the rest of his career has been bad. I think there should be competition. I think they should be pushing. I think both guys should come into every game, helmet strapped on, thinking I might get in and have to save the year. That's what I'm hoping for. I haven't heard that they're going to do that. This is wishful thinking on my part. I'm saying as a fan, I'm projecting out. We may need one of y'all. And if it just says you're backup, you're third, I don't think that puts the team in the best position. I think there should be competition for basically every spot except Tua. Basically. Like it's yes, obviously there are people who are like more like Zach's not gonna give up his spot. I get that. But like if we got a rookie offensive lineman who's pushing y'all in camp, it's like, yo, I don't know. And I don't mean Jonah. I mean like an undrafted free agent guy that's all of a sudden like, did the whole league miss on his first? Like, if you're playing that well, I don't think it should be, well, you can't play. We already got a five. I do think you should get the chance to really push, to be in a rotation in some respect. Hey, you got to earn this job out here. So that's what I want to see. I haven't heard any evidence we're going to have that, which makes me a little bit nervous because it means that we're just all of a sudden all in on Zach, which is for the life of me, I don't know how you could be that. I want to see competition. If Zach beats him out and it's just a better player, fantastic. You're the backup. But you got to earn it a little bit. Your resume didn't earn it. I'll tell you that right now. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to just say Zach's the backup and they're going to tell you that Quinn's not ready. I don't know. We'll see. I'm already disappointed. I'm just like, nah, no. All right. So the main question I've got a lot lately because we're like 9 Sundays away from football is what are you most looking forward to for the season? Now, I could go way down the line and say, win the division, playoff win, to Coach McDaniel, Chris Greer feel vindicated, whatever. We can go all the way to that point. I'm not looking all the way to that point. I'm looking at week one. I'm looking forward to week one on the road against Jonathan Taylor. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. It looks like Danny Dimes right now, who, again, I do not believe is a good player. But Danny Dimes is talented enough to just be sneaky. He's sneaky. Like, he's quicker than you think. He's bigger than you think. Like, he'll get that ball out. They have some talent with the Colts. And make no mistake about it. I don't think they're a good team, but they have talent. I don't know what Michael Pittman is. I'll be honest. I've seen him as a top 10 receiver for the last 2 or 3 years in fantasy, and I don't see it. I think Josh Downs is better. But that's neither here nor there. I'm looking forward to. I think the Colts are going to try to establish a run extra hard this year. That's my opinion. I think Jonathan Taylor's getting 20 to 25 carries a game. They're going to run the offense through him. They don't trust Anthony Richardson right now because one, he's just been super erratic and he's been hurt. And how could you trust Daniel Jones? How could you? So they have two quarterbacks that are supremely athletic, one ultra supreme. Anthony Richardson arm talent off the charts. Daniel Jones is decent arm talent, but neither of those guys should be the reason you win. So that's going to show me week one. Where's our defense? I'm looking at Kenneth Grant and Big Zach. What are y'all doing in the middle? And can our ends get at these quarterbacks? You can sack Daniel Jones. He will give it up. There's a lot of Eli Manning in Daniel Jones. A lot of chuck and duck. A lot of I should get rid of the ball, but nah, sack. A lot of that in Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson is very difficult to sack because he's one giant. He's like almost like Cam on steroids. He's a big dude. So he's difficult to sack, but he also does hold on to the ball so you can hit him a lot. That's what I want to see. Where's my D line operating? Because how well the D line is playing is going to tell me how good the secondary is going to play. If that D line is hellacious and they're getting after you, they're pushing the pocket, they're getting sacks, the secondary is going to have a much easier life. I don't think we're going to know our secondary for real until halfway through the year. So if the first week they're looking kind of shaky, that's not going to tell me anything because I don't expect them to be good week one anyway because at least two of them probably really shouldn't be playing or are very new to playing and need to get seasoned on the field. That's what I'm expecting. Our D line, outside of Kendall Grant, those are more or less, those are dudes at this point. Chop played a lot last year. Hey, all that rookie talk, it's over. You got a whole offseason getting size, working on your game, getting mentored and coached up properly. You should be where you need to be. So that's going to show me in the trenches where's our team. And the Colts are pretty good against the run. So if the Dolphins do go down the Henley path and start really implementing the run game, going against Zaire and those guys on the linebacker crew, that's going to show me how well can we run the ball against a team that actually has good linebacker play and wants to stop the run. That's going to tell me everything about where we are. If we can run the ball and stop their run in week one, oh, baby, we got a stew going then, baby. We got a stew going. If that's what we can do in week one, that's what I'm looking forward to. If Jonathan Taylor goes for a buck 50 and we can't run the ball, I'm a little nervous. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. If we stop him and we can run the ball, then I'm getting a little hype. Then we go to the Patriots right after that. You know, we know what that rivalry is. We own it right now. Then we start getting excited about where we can be because then we go into Buffalo. So that week one, that's where my head's at. And I want to see how we play in the trenches. That's going to show us everything. We do that well, we got something. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and subscribes. Y'all have been crushing it. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.